Alright guys, how's it going? Famine52 here, and in today's quick little mini episode I'm going to be showing you how to become pretty overpowered pretty quick in the game. To just be a little bit more precise with how quick in the game, you could do all of this before you even leave Balam Garden to go to Dalit the first time, but we could get even stronger before we leave Balam proper to even go to Timber for the first time. And we're going to be so strong that, honestly, we'll be able to take on the final boss should we need to. Now realize, with what I'm doing today, like I said, we'll be strong enough to take on the final boss. So if you don't really like that sort of style of play, you do not need to do this. It is completely up to personal preference. But this is the way I play Final Fantasy VIII, and I want to share that with you guys. Now, one more thing before we go on. This is going to be a low-level playthrough, so I'm going to be doing my best not to level up at all. It's going to happen here and there, so I'll probably be, honestly, by the time I'm ready to actually level my characters on disc 3, once I reach the island closest to heaven and the islands close to hell, I'll honestly probably be around like level 12 or 13. And the reason why I'm staying such a low level is we actually have a couple Guardian Forces that will teach us some pretty important stat boosting abilities, like our buddy Ifrit here. Once we learn this stat junction plus 40%, he's also going to be teaching us stat bonus or strength bonus. Now what strength bonus is going to do is every time we level up, we're going to gain an additional 1 point to our maximum strength. And there are bonuses to basically everything. There are going to be bonuses to our strength, to our vitality, to our magic, to our spirit, to our evasion, to our speed, and to our luck at the very least. I think we might also get something for hit, and we might even get something for health. But so that's why I'm going to be staying low level, is so that once I do get all of those stat bonuses, I'll be able to min-max my party to the absolute maximum. But as for what we're doing in this video, we're talking about how to become overpowered before we leave to go to Timber. So what do we got to do for that? Well, first and foremost, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to play quite a fair bit of cards. We are going to be coming over here to this little room right here, and just go in and out of here a few times. It's not really all that difficult to do. We're just waiting for someone to spawn, and we'll know right away if he spawns or not. Just don't get in a habit of running back and forth and miss this guy spawning. I believe he has about a 20% chance of spawning. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to be fighting this guy a couple of times in cards. Now, as you can see, I have a couple of cards here that you don't normally get at this point in the game. I have the Jumbo Cactuar card, the Trauma card, and the Elverite card. I'll be showing you guys how to get those as soon as I'm done with this. I just want to show you what we're going to be doing real quick. So, first and foremost, we are going to be fighting this guy in cards. We're not really aiming for any cards in particular. We are just trying to build up our card collection, so that we are not really struggling beating this guy moving forward. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put that right there, and let's go ahead and put that right there. And because we have the all rules set, even though we just won by one card, we are going to get all of this guy's cards. Alright, so those cards that you saw that we don't normally have at this point, like Jumbo Cactuar. You can get a Jumbo Cactuar card by using the card command on the Glacial Eye enemies out in the overworld. In order to fight them, you're going to want to run up and down like the little mountain range. Next, we have the Trauma and the Elverite card. So Elverite, you're going to have to card the Bug Bite enemy. They're going to be most common in the main plains, but you can also fight them in the forest. And then we have the Trauma. Now this guy, we're going to be fighting the Caterpillar, which is going to be honestly the main enemy that we're going to be fighting inside of the forest. So when you're carding these guys, you have a 6.4% chance to get a rare card from them, which is going to be the cards that I've showcased already. And now, something worth noting: if you, let's say, I were to have 100 of the bug bite cards, I'll still be able to card the bug bite, but the game knows that I am full on stock of the bug bite card, so it's not going to allow me to card the bug bite into a bug bite card. So card is going to fail the majority of the time. But here's the thing: there's that 6.4% chance that I'll get the Elverite card. So card will hit, and it doesn't always card the enemy, but when it does, I will be guaranteed to get the Elverite card. And now this is going to be very important for a couple of kind of annoying cards a little bit later. But as for right now, these are the cards that we're going to have, and these are the cards that we're going to be using to build up our hand, so that we have a better time when it comes to actually taking down a few of the people that we're going to be facing in cards. Alright. Now, as for the next opponent that we're going to be fighting for the cards that we want for becoming overpowered, we are going to be wanting to come on over here and head on into the cafeteria. And once we enter into the cafeteria, we're going to be going into the back, and we're going to be challenging these guys right here to a game of cards. We're going to be challenging the guy in back. Now, the guy in back, he plays a couple of very powerful cards that we're going to need for becoming overpowered. First and foremost, he has a chance of playing the Quistis card, which is honestly one of the strongest cards. Hey, look, there we go, first try. As you can see, I always do that when it comes to Quistis. I always forget she has an A right there. When it comes to Quistis, as you can see, very powerful card. That A is going to register as a 10. So there's no card that we're going to have that is going to... wow, I might have actually lost this game. Or not lost, but at least drawn. I might be able to win. Yeah. So there we go. But unless we're playing with the same rule, there's going to be no card that is going to be able to defeat the Quistis card from the bottom. Now, of course, she could be beaten by that 6 and by that 2, so you just got to play her card correctly. Now, a couple of other cards that this guy has the opportunity of playing. There is one card that we're going to need at least 20 of. I personally ended up getting 80 of them. That sounds like a huge difference, but by getting just 20, we're going to guarantee that we are going to be able to get the Lionheart weapon. And this gentleman is actually playing it right now. It is going to be that card right there, which, as you can see, is called the El Noel card. So the El Noel card, we need 2 of them, or we need 2 of the energy crystals to get the 12 pulse ammo needed for Squall's Lionheart. We need an additional 6 to get Quistis's ultimate weapon, as well as, I believe it's Noah's ultimate weapon. So that means in order to get all 3 of those, we need at least 80 of these cards. What card? There we go. So let's go ahead and take this right now. As you can see, he took back his El Noel, but that is perfectly fine. I'm going to just go ahead and take whatever that card is. And let's go ahead and take that Mesmerize. And then take that Creep. Alright. And then now the third card that this person has the ability of playing is going to be the Ruby Dragon card. We're going to want at least 10 of those, in all honesty. So we're going to want at least 10 of the Ruby Dragon cards, just so that Quistis can learn her blue magic, which is going to be Fire Breath. But we could also get one of the best cards, or one of the best magics to junction to our strength from El Noel. Or not El Noel, from Ruby Dragon. And that is going to be the Magic Flare. Now, in order to get that, we are going to need 5 Inferno Fangs. Now, it's going to take 10 Ruby Dragons to refine down into 1 Inferno Fang. So that means to get both the uh, both the blue magic that we want as well as the flare magic. We're going to want to get at least 60 um, ruby fangs, or at least 60 ruby dragons. So that is quite a difficult grind to do. It does take quite a long time. If you are facing this guy or facing the next guy I'm going to show you, trying to farm those El Noyo cards, there's a pretty high chance that you are going to get at least 10 of them. But if you're going for the 80 El Noyo cards that are needed for all of the ultimate weapons, you are probably going to get at least 60 of the ruby dragons. But if that sounds like too much of pain to you, you can come down to this guy down here, and he is going to play another card that will give us something that is going to be great for our strength stat. Of course, he didn't play it this time, but what that card is going to be the Abyss Worm card. Now, the Abyss Worm does refine down into Tornado, which is also going to be needed for another ultimate weapon. 5 Abyss Worm cards will refine down into 100 Tornadoes. They refine down into Windmills, which then refine down into Tornado. So the thing that we need for the ultimate weapon is going to be the Windmill, and so we need at least 5 cards for that, and then we have 3 players, so that is going to be another 15 of the Abyss Worm. So I recommend farming at least 20 of them. Another card that we could use is going to be the Iron Giant, as well as the Behemoth. From them we get the I believe we get 3 stars from Iron Giant, and we get a blue magic, blue magic for Quistis. That is going to be Mighty Guard from the barrier material that we're going to be getting from the Behemoth card. From the Cockatrice, we could refine those guys down into Break Magic once we get access to Diablos. And that is going to make it so that we can face humanoid enemies without actually gaining experience. And the Mesmerize Blade that we get from the Mesmerize card is going to give us, it's either Meltdown or Pain. I can't quite remember right now, but I will show you guys that in a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do some carding, and I will be right back to show you guys all of that stuff that we will grab. Alright guys, so we are back after doing some carding, and what we are going to be doing now is we're going to be going down to our card mod ability, which we have learned from Quetzalcoatl out in the main world. And we are going to go ahead and go on down here. And first and foremost, the Gala cards, most of these cards that I'm about to show you, most of them I didn't farm for. I just got them in the course of farming the other cards. So don't be worried if you didn't specifically farm for them. Chances are you have more than enough for what it is that we are about to do. But first and foremost, we're going to be going to the Gala card. Now they're going to give us Mystery Fluid. Let's go ahead and refine down all except for one of that. Next is going to be the Gesper, and again, all but one. And then after that, on this page right here, there are our Mesmerize. Let's go ahead and leave those for right now. We can't actually refine those down yet, but it is something just to keep an eye on. What next? I forget what we need coral fragments, but I feel like we need it. So let's go ahead and refine those guys down. Next, we're going to be refining down a few running fires. I believe we only need one, but I'm just going to be refining down everything just to keep things simple. Then there we go with the windmill cards right there. Then over here with the Blitz card that you will find from Balam Town itself. These will refine down into Thundagas. In fact, I'll just go ahead and show you guys that. Now, Thundaga, even though it is a great magic, it is going to be the best lightning magic. We're actually going to be getting a way better supply of that in the upcoming area, so I'm not really too worried about that right now. Next, we are going to have the blue dragons. Let's go ahead and refine down just 2 of those. Those are going to be needed for Zell's ultimate weapon, and you can get the Firaga spell from the Hexadragon. Again, I'm not too worried about that. And you could also get the Blizzaga magic from the Snow Lion. Just something to keep you guys aware of. And here on the Iron Giant, we're going to refine down those guys to get a couple of our star fragments. And we're going to refine down a couple of the behemoths to get our barrier magic. And on the Chimera, something worth noting is that if I had 2 more, I could probably get 100 full life for one of my characters. Let's go ahead and refine down all of our Marlboro tentacles, all of our Ruby Dragons, all of our El Noyo cards, and then over here we got the Trauma. They're not really going to refine down to anything too important. The Shumi Tribe card, which is a card that I will show you how to get in a little bit, is another important card for what we are going to be doing throughout our playthrough. So let's go ahead and refine those guys down. The Krista card, which again I'll be showing you those guys in a little bit. Let's go ahead and refine down 10 of those guys, and then let's just keep those the Jumbo Cactuar, the Minimog, the Ifrit, and the Quistis as is. Before we move on though, let me go ahead and show you a few things. Let's see. Shumi Tribe. You can get those guys by carding either T-Rexor or the Grat. So what that means is that we have an area in Balam Garden where if we were to get, I don't know, let's say 100 Grats, we could very easily get the Shumi Tribe card member. And now as for Krista, we can get that by refining down the bomb enemy as well as the Baloo enemy. And now both of those guys will be spawning inside the fire cavern. So highly important, or not important, but highly powerful for this stage of the game. And what this thing is going to refine down into is going to be very important for keeping us low level as we move forward. But let's go ahead and go back up to our... Actually, you know what? Let's go to items, just so we could sort things. Go over to use. And let's just move on down the line real quick. So, what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be teaching Quistis her blue magics. So we are going to need 1 spider web, a coral fragment. That's why we needed coral fragments. That's why I remembered that we needed those. Just a heads up. We're going to need, so Spiderweb, by the way, teaches Ultra Waves. Coral Fragment teaches Electrocute. Black Hole teaches Degenerator. Water Crystal teaches Aqua Breath. Mystery Fluid teaches Acid. Running Fire teaches Gatling Gun. An Inferno Fang will teach Fire Breath. A Marble Tentacle will teach Bad Breath. A Barrier will teach Mighty Guard. And that is all that we currently have access to. So let's go ahead and go to our abilities and just work our way through our magic refinements. So Coral Fragments will refine down into Thundaras. I'm not too worried about that because with Cypher we'll be able to work that out really well. Now the Dynamo Stones, let's go ahead and just... Yeah, it's going to take 5 to give a character 100 Thundagas. So that right there, right off the bat, we have the strongest lightning magic. Windmills, let's go ahead and refine those down into tornadoes. And that's going to be all for lightning magic. Let's go to ice magic. We could teach our characters water with the water crystals. Again, Blizzaras for the Arctic Wind. Fish Fang, or Fish Fin. So nothing really in ice that we could do. And what about in fire? We got the flares right here, so let's go ahead and give those to Squall. And yeah, So let's go ahead and junction up Squall real quick, just to show you where he's at versus where he can be. So at level 8, these are his stats right here. For HP, let's go ahead and actually throw Tornado on that right now. We can get a bigger bang for our buck with Flare, but I'm going to put Tornado on there, and then I'm actually going to put that Flare on Strength. So his Strength is 19 before Flare, and it is 75 after Flare. Vitality is going to be something that we are going to be able to take care of after our little foray into Dalit real quick. So let's just go ahead and throw really anything on here. Let's go ahead and throw Cura. Again, magic is something that we'll be able to take care of after Dalit. So let's just go ahead and throw anything. You know what? Thundara, that works. And again, Spirit will be taken care of after Dalit. So, there we go. Let's go ahead and throw that Thundaga real quick onto Squall's weapon attack. And, yeah, for right now, Squall is actually relatively beastly for even mid to late game. But we are going to be able to make him so much more powerful just by going through Dalit a little bit. So I'll be right back once we go ahead and take care of that. Alright guys, so here we are in Dalit, and as you can see on my screen, Zell and Squall are both currently dead, and I am just kind of tanking things with Cypher. You know what, let's go ahead and turn on the battle booster real quick. All we're doing is drawing anyway, and I'm just talking to you guys, so let's make this a little bit faster. But right now what I'm doing, I am currently drawing Dispels from that dude in red right there, and we are fully stocked. And as you can see, he also has Blizzaga, Thundaga, and Firaga. And then if we were to go over to one of the other guys, we could also get Curaga from that guy. Now it is also worth noting that should we be going up against the Anacondor enemies at this point, we can also get our Blizzard, or not our Blizzard, our Bios from those guys, as well as some dragon skins. Now, something that I want to show you guys real quick, if I can get to it. Right now, Cypher completely unjunction on his strength as 151 strength. So let's go back over to Squall real quick. Squall at level 9 has 19. Now the reason why there is such a big disparity between Cypher's strength and Squall's strength isn't just because Cypher's level 100. It is mostly because I leveled him to level 100 with this strength bonus on, giving him that additional, I believe he came in at 91s, or at 9, so that additional 91 points to his strength. So that is just a little proof of concept real quick that of why we are going to be staying a low level in this game, and just to show you that we can still become incredibly overpowered by late game by doing so. So let's see, what did I just draw from that guy again? It was Dispel. There it is. So yeah, there's that. Now another thing worth noting is that by facing the Anacondor cards, or not cards, by carding the Anacondor enemy, we could also get some mobile type 8s. Now again, get 100 of those guys, and every time you successfully card an Anacondor, it will turn into a mobile type 8, and that will refine down into, I believe it is shell. Let me double check that real quick. 10 shell stones. 1 shell stone turns into 1 shell, but we are actually going to be facing an enemy relatively soon that will give us shell without us needing to refine down anything. And I never showed you guys what Shumi Tribe refines down into. Let's go ahead and just refine down a few of those. And now with Shumi Tribe, what that item does, it is going to give us... Wait, where is it? Gambler Spirit, where'd you go? There it is. It is going to give us a Gambler Spirit, which is going to teach a GF the card ability. It is not necessary to do that yet. I will show you what I end up doing once we get there. But just have at least, I don't know, at least 3 of these on hand. You really only need 1, but if you want to play around, have some fun, the more you have, the better, and you can always cause a summon to forget it later. So let's go ahead and finish out Dalit real quick, and I'll be right back to show you guys what we'll be doing next. Alright guys, so the next thing we are going to do, and this is very important, is once we are fighting the Elverit boss, we're going to go ahead and draw Siren from Elverit. And did we get her? We did. Alright, so don't forget to do that. That is very important. You can, of course, end up getting Siren later in the game on Disc 4, but why miss her? She is super simple. And is going to be relatively important for getting our party as strong as they possibly can before we head out to Dalit. So just keep that in mind before you finish the guy. You should be drawing magics from him anyway. Just go ahead and get that Siren card. So yeah, I'll see you guys back in Ballin proper. Alright guys, so we are back in Ballin proper, and what we're going to be doing here is we have kind of farmed AP a little bit with Siren, so we're going to go ahead and go down to card mod, and we are going to turn the Mesmerize that we got into a bunch of Mesmerized blades. We really don't even need that many. I've already refined down, I believe I've refined down 5 of them, so let's go ahead and just, what am I doing? Let's just go ahead and refine down another 20. And so with that being done, let's go ahead and head up here to Life Magic. And you remember the Kristas that we farmed earlier from the blues and the bombs? Well, yeah, they're going to give us 100 holy. Before Diablos, at level 10, right after Dalit. That's kind of unheard of. Next, the Region Ring that we got from the Chimera card. Let's go ahead and turn those into 100 full lives. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Now, if you didn't farm all the way up to level 100 with Siren, you could also use the Life Magic to get yourself a supply of Curas and Curagas. And I believe, yeah, the tents and the cottages will get you that as well. Next, here we have those Mesmerized blades. So one Mesmerize will turn into 20 regions. So that means 5 will turn into 100. So let's go ahead and give our party those guys. And yeah, let's go ahead and throw those on and see what they're good for, shall we? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and... That was the wrong button. I'm just going to go ahead and take everything off of Zell and Selfie real quick, just so I can put everything all in one place. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to Junction. Put everybody onto Squall right here. Darn it. Darn it. Alright, so let's go ahead and take those off, take that off. Alright, so here we got a blank slate, right? So HP, Kiraga. Kiraga's pretty good, but you know what? We actually have something a little bit better. We have Holy. Holy's good, but Holy's going to be used for something else. We also have Regen. Now Regen will give us 3,216. Not bad. Full Life will give us 5,416. So let's go ahead and put those full life onto our HP. And you know what? That also even outweighs the Holy. So next we have Strength. We all know that Flare is going to be the way to go for that. Just showing you guys real quick that we got nothing better than Flare. Yep. Now Vitality. Let's see. Let's start with 1. Let's go through real quick. 73. That's not bad. From the Kiraga. Looks like none of the elemental spells are going to be able to touch that. And you know what? The only thing that's better is going to be Regen. So we go from 8 Unjunction to 73 with Kiraga, and with Regen we go up to 70. Or what was it with Kiraga? 73 with Kiraga up to 78 with Regen. Now on Magic, let's just go ahead and throw Holy on there. There shouldn't be anything better than Holy, which indeed there is not. Now Spirit. Let's go ahead and start with Dispel. I actually forgot to card something real quick. So let's go ahead and go on back into our card mod. And let's go on over here to the Tonberry. Let's go ahead and refine down a bunch of those guys. Let's go over to Life. Go down to Chef's Knife. Let's go ahead and just give everybody 100 deaths real quick. Go on back up to Squall. And then just to show you death, nothing on HP, nothing on strength, nothing on vitality, nothing on magic, nothing on spirit. That's just something I forgot to grab earlier, but it is something that we can junction right now that you could actually use. And it's actually only 2 points less than Dispel on our spirit, which, I mean, of course we could put full life on our spirit, get us 92, but we want that health right now. And yep. Ooh, so spirit, our best choice is going to be actually Kiraga. So that is, these are currently the best junctions that we could have for each magic on each character. Full Life, Flare, Regen, Holy, Kiraga. Now up next is going to be a little bit of your own personal preference, but let's go ahead and go to status, attack, and defense. I tend to keep Thundaga on unless I know I'm fighting something that is weak to any particular element. And then over here on our status or on our elemental defense, I don't seem to. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have Shell yet. So let's just go ahead and just throw things on right now. For right now, it is not all that important what you throw on. We will be getting better magics to throw on here. But for our... that was elemental? Oh no, that... I'm sorry guys, I was saying status that whole time. That was our elemental attack and defense. And then over here on the last one, this is going to be our status attack and defense. Now, we could throw a bunch of different things on over here. A very fun one, if you aren't worried about gaining experience and leveling up, is actually going to be death onto our status attack. That is going to deal or do a pretty high chance of dealing instant death whenever you attack with the character that has that equipped. And for right now, we don't really have all that much. I'm personally going to throw sleep on just so I have a chance of putting any enemy that happens to survive, just putting them straight to bed. Next, I'm going to go ahead and throw Dispel on. Does it tell me what the various things are? It doesn't. But I believe that that is just general magical or status defense with the Dispel. And once I get enough Asuna... Oh, hey, I do have enough Asuna. So I'd like to throw Asuna and Shell on to our defense. I believe Shell's actually going to go over here. But Asuna and anything else that you feel like you need to defend against. But yeah, so for right now, this is going to be the best that we could do. Until that is, we get Diablos. And that is actually going to be our next Guardian Force. So I will see you guys once we get Diablos. Alright guys, so we are back and we just got Diablos, finished farming him up a little bit. And let's go ahead and see what we can get from him real quick. So let's go ahead and head over here to Time Magic. And with the Time Magic, with the Wizard Stones, Magic Stones, and M Stones, we will get various forms of the various speed spells. So M Stones will give us slow, Magic will give us haste, and Wizard will give us stops. So these are going to be great things to junction to our speed stats. So let's just go ahead and put those on. I know that we don't currently have a junction for speed, but never hurts to have them right now. Next are going to be the black holes that we got from the, I believe it was the Gesper enemies. Let's go ahead and top off Squall on the Demis as well as Quistis. Next up, the Dino Bones that you will be getting from farming the T-Rexor, as well as you can get them from card modding another card that I can't quite remember right now. Those will turn into Quakes. Now Quake, it's not as good as Strength. It's not as good as Tornado for Strength or Flare, but it will get you by for relatively far into the game. Let's go ahead and go to Status Magic Refinement, and here the M Stones, Magic Stones, Wizard Stones. Wizard will turn into Bio, Magic will turn into Berserk, and M Stones will turn into Silence. But what we are really here for is the Cockatrice Pinion. One of those will refine down into 20 breaks. And the Curse Spikes will, one of those will refine down into 10 pains. And Meltdowns. One of those will refine down into 10 meltdowns. And that is really all that we need to worry about for right now. We can get confused. Confused is not necessary for strength, I believe. Let's just go ahead and refine those down real quick just to be safe. So let's go ahead and go over to Squall and see what, if anything, our new magics have freed up for us. But first, I hate having unorganized magic. Let's go ahead and just rearrange all of that real quick. Let's see. So for health, it doesn't look like anything has changed. It has not. I know that strength is not going to have changed. Vitality, though, if we put Meltdown on Vitality, it's going to raise it an additional 10 points. And that should be it for that. Magic, I believe Holy is still going to be the best. Ooh, we could put Pain on our Magic to increase it by 15 points, and that is not actually a bad choice. You know what, since we're here, I'm just going to show you what else Pain is good for. So putting it on your status attack, you will almost always inflict poison, silence, and I forget what that... I need a guide. I need some sort of ledger. But I'm not going to get that. But you will be inflicting those 3 statuses every time you attack with with pain on your attack, or you will be defending from poison, silence, zombie, and I really off the top of my head cannot remember what that X is. Um, so that is going to be a personal preference for you, whatever it is you guys want to do. I personally really find pain is good on the status defense, especially when you pair it with either Asuna or what was it? There I go again, thinking differently. Especially when you pair it with Asuna. Just basic all-around coverage. So yeah, that's where I normally put my pains. But other than that, there shouldn't be anything better for our magic stat, which it does not look like there is. And as for spirit, let's see if we got anything for spirit. We do not. Alright. So let's go ahead and go over here to our elemental defense. Let's go ahead and throw protect onto our elemental defense, and let's go ahead and throw shell onto our elemental defense. Now these two are going to be, again, just general coverage. If you know that you are going up against an enemy that likes to use any particular element, go ahead and defend yourself against that. With the magics that we have, we can very easily start absorbing most elements, most things that might get thrown our way. But I just like to be safe and have just a general protection as I'm going through. But yeah, so this is going to be as strong as any one party member could be on your team. And of course, you're not going to be putting your junctions this way normally. You are going to be spreading out your junctions throughout the other two party members. This is just going to be the best for each stat from the magics that you have. So go ahead and assign accordingly. Now, earlier in the video, we did refine down those Shumi tribe card members. So let me go ahead and show you what we're going to be doing with those guys real quick. Let's go ahead and take off all of these. Yep. And I normally give Selfie. I normally give her Diablos, and honestly, I give her Shiva so that she is able to be fully junctioned out with all of those stats and all of that. And then from here, let's just go ahead and do this. It's not really necessary. Let's see. So from here, I'll go over to Zell, and I'll give Zell Quetzalcoatl, and generally I'll leave it there. Yeah, I'm just going to leave. I'm just gonna leave that there for right now, and I'm going to go ahead and give. No, let's not do that again. Then I'll go ahead and give Squall. I'll give him Ifrit and Siren. And then at this point, because I know what everybody has, and I know that, what is it? I know that Quetzalcoatl already has access to the card command, and that I'm going to be casting Diablos almost all of the time with Selfie, and I know that Squall is going to be too hard or too strong to actually hit anybody. I'll just go ahead and take one of the Guardian Forces that Squall has, and I'll just go over here to item, go down to Gambler Spirit, and because I know that he has Ifrit and Siren, I will go ahead and put Gambler Spirit on one of these guys. Let's go ahead and do it on Siren for right now, and that means that coming up here, if I go to ability, I can give Zell card. Moving over to Squall, I can give Squall card. And every time I go to fight an enemy with this party and like this setup of Guardian Forces, I'll be able to knock down their health with Selfie, and then I'll be able to card them with the other two party members. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, go ahead and click that like button. If you found anything new, found anything interesting, go ahead and let me know down below. Or if you have any other suggestions for what people can do to overpower their party that maybe I didn't even think about doing at this point, go ahead and let us know down below. But other than that, this is going to be Famine52 signing out. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you're going to stick through on my regular playthrough as we are going through the game with these outrageous stats. But until next time, Famine52 signing out, and peace out.